we live in a hyper-individualistic society, on the one hand, and then we're told these kind of mass, opium for the masses kind of sentences, like Am Yisrael, daven with a minion, all these kind of generalistic statements that quite a few of us have difficulty experiencing. So, hyper-individualistic, and also being told it's all about community. How does this fit in with Shavuot? Is Matan Torah an individualistic moment? Is it a communal moment? We all stand as Am Yisrael together. Only Am Yisrael as a unit can receive Torah. Or is it something that is very hyper-personal, hearing the voice from within? So there are a few beautiful teachings that really try to not just bridge this gap, but also try to talk about it in a different way. And I want to put out one or two as suggestions for how to think about Matan Torah, and perhaps for how to think about our relationship with Am Yisrael in general. What does Am Yisrael mean to us? How does it change our going about what we do in our mitzvot? So two things. One is the Sfat Emet says, on the pasuk, Ro'im et hakolot, says just after Matan Torah, the Am Yisrael, all the Jewish people, they saw the voices. Of course, it's a little bit difficult, even with today's science, to see voices. But okay. Maybe it was the sound of silence. They see the voices. The Sfat Emet says, do you know what they saw? They saw, or they felt, the godly voice from within speaking through them, their connection with God, their connection with Torah, and they saw, or imet hakolot, as in plural, they saw everybody else's connection as well. So what is Matan Torah? What is the revelation? It's the revelation of your personal voice, your personal connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Torah, and your realization that Torah only gets revealed once everybody else is also connecting and providing their voice. Now I heard an idea in the name of the Sefer Ikarim, which I admit I have not seen inside, but it is so good that even if it's not written there, it should be written there, as we say. But this is wonderful, and think that the Sefer Ikarim is a sizable amount of time before Hasidut. And he says, why are we given Taryag, 613 mitzvot? What does it mean that Am Yisrael keeps Torah, receives Torah, and does Torah? Obviously everybody keeps 613, he says. But you can only really keep Torah with the whole of Am Yisrael. Only through all of Am Yisrael can you keep Torah. Now when I first heard this sentence, I was like, yeah, that's the normal thing about masses, mass protests. Now you're going to tell me I can only daven with a minion, right? And you're going to undermine individualism. Thank you. That's a typical religious thing that people do. No, says the Sefer HaKadosh. You know why you need everybody? Because each person only really has one, or maybe two, mitzvot that are them, that are their personal way in their avodat Hashem. Each person has one. Each person has their avodat Hashem. And therefore, only through everybody keeping their mitzvah to the utmost, with their most individualistic voice, with their personal avodat Hashem, only through everybody doing their mitzvah can you get to the whole of the Torah being kept. This, for me, is mind-blowing. It's a totally different way of experiencing Am Yisrael. It's not just saying, I'm dependent on people. It's that Torah is only really fully created, fully kept, when everybody, like in an orchestra, is doing their voice. a little bit makes me also think, and a part in, just to think of another idea. Do we think of what is tefillah b'tzibur? What is davening in a community? Is it important so that we can say Kaddish or Kedusha or Baruch Hu? Is that really why you come to daven in a community? Is that what davening community is really about? Seeing my friends, talking, or saying the Heshmei Rabbah, all sorts of things that I couldn't do at home? Or is davening with a community something completely different than a bunch of individuals getting together to daven? Is the kind of davening an entirely different thing? What would it look like? What would it mean to any one of us to daven in a tzibur with more people who are also Oved Hashem and to try to create something together? And that's what I think the Sefer Karim is trying to get at Matan Torah, about doing Torah, about doing the mitzvot. All of the mitzvot are created when each one of us is really moving forward with their shita, with their individualistic voice. And only that way does Am Yisrael come together to create Torah. Chag Shavuot Sameach.